What's going on, everybody? It's Adra Young with the Cooks and Books Show. Happy Friday Eve to you, to everyone, to Detroit, to all the major cities, to the world. Thank you for tuning in to the Cooks and Books Show this Thursday. I have got a great author on the line for you today, and he's going to be talking about his book. So without further ado, let's give it up for author Jay Walker. How you doing today?
Great. Fine to hear from you and talk to you as well on the radio. I appreciate this opportunity to get hopefully some of these book clubs and writers and authors to blog and talk about the book that is released as of last July.
All right. So, perseverance does pay off. And, you just keep editing until you get to where you want to get to. So let's talk about the title of this book.
Family Affair. Actually, it's a family affair saga novel that was written. Concept came about from certain shows that actually come to mind from, actually when they had the tax credit industry here to bring filmmakers and directors and producers and movie makers here. Our last governor had decided to cut the tax credit, and that made them take flight to other cities to produce film and movies.
Yes, it did. It most certainly did. But let's talk about the main character, the John. John wants a piece of the pie. Help me clarify this. He wants a piece of the casino pie, but something happens and things don't work out the way that he would want it to have. So let's talk about John. And it actually sounds kind of similar. Like this may have some realistic parts to it. Very familiar.
Actually, his name is not John. It's Nick is the lead character.
Okay.
Nick Saros is based on a fictional character. And pretty much he wants to have an ownership and a stake in the casino industry. And, he's doing all he can take. He's determined to destiny to achieve those particular goals, which every dream comes about by only trying to be determined to reach your potential. And so he sees the burgeoning casino industry taking its flight in so many different cities. And based on the concept, is actually, fictionally, loosely based on the realization, so to speak, because there is a growing casino industry. And it's pretty much dominant in the market. They actually have on the petition. People are just only familiar with the 3 casinos we have in the Detroit area. There's actually 22. And on the ballot to have you approve more casinos coming along the pipeline. If it's through racinos, slot machines, poker games, lottery, online gambling, there are actually 22 casinos already in the state of Michigan. So Nick wants to become a proud owner of that. And they also give a tribute to our late and great Donald Barton, who was actually the only and the first African-American who actually owned a casino in the city of Las Vegas.
Wow, well, you have just educated me, and I know that Don Barton was actually a native of Indiana, where I'm from. So, wow, the storyline pulls together really great. Now, what can you talk about some of the challenges that the main character endures during this storyline?
In the same industry as him, those who don't want to see him succeed, his past, which makes him feel disenfranchised, which makes him even more so determined to get a piece of the pie. So his character has come about because of his determination and his will to succeed. He has a lot of complexities in his family. That's why it's called the family saga. And basically, my premise and my idea for this particular book comes about through television novels that I read of my own. Sidney Sheldon's Master of the Game, certain authors who wrote television shows that you may be familiar with on TV, Dallas, Dynasty, Knots Landing. Those are reality-based shows based on the dominant industry of the time, gas and oil, refineries, diamond mining. Now all you see on television is a bunch of trash. Who wants to Hollywood? I'm not going to use that term, but Hollywood. It's just garbage TV. Who can eat the most pie? Is wife swap. And the reason that's so dominant in the market because no one has time to produce or sit down and take the time to write about an industry. Whatever it is that is being immediate sensationalism, and those who actually think they're doing a benefit to your community, actually just showing it's not just a role model for women to watch women compete for, whatever opportunities they have on these reality shows. Like I said, trash TV is not based on an industry that actually educates you and teach you about certain markets that back in the 80s and 90s. And that's why one reason I decided to write about this casino industry. To educate people and entertain them as well. Show you the challenges that he had to come overcome, get to where he is.
Can we talk about, or is this too much for me to act? Can we talk about maybe some of the struggles that he endures as a minority and being an Indian, and the fact that the country was first indeed North America did indeed belong to the Native Americans.
Well, that's a challenge right there. I mean, how many Native Americans do you see or hear about that are actually achievers of something great and successful? Just like a minority American. That's why I mentioned Donna Barton, to rise through the glass ceiling and achieve and control and just be a part of a fortunate industry. So just the challenges alone is enough to make him try to become successful, not only for the storyline, but for those who are in his lineage, his heritage, his family background. You know, you look at the population studies on statistics of any minority trying to achieve things in this world. It's very difficult.
Yes, it is.
Obstacles stacked against you, and so you have to be determined in your own heart that you're going to dream and achieve what you set out to dream.
Yes, it is very hard. In fact, they have one of the number one suicide rates due to difficulties simply trying to meet to get ends met. You know, so
some of the things I mentioned in my novel, that he is a heavy drinker. You know, there's no secret that they are predominantly alcoholics because of the struggles and challenges they overcome, and that's a resort to relieve some of the stress and tension and anxiety that they go through in life in general. So if anyone were interested in looking at the site, again, it's familyaffairsaga.com. Please feel free to browse the site, get a check out of the synopsis, order the book, and hopefully wait for more things to come. I'm actually just in the process of releasing the second one. So should be over the next couple of months or so.
That is awesome. And you know what? That is so creative because you read books, but very rarely do you read. Well, let me just say personally, I've read many books, okay? But I've not read a book based upon some of the struggles that our Native Americans have endured. And I'm going to really take the time to read your book because first of all, it will educate me. And I'm just curious, you know. I've seen a special.
I appreciate that. And I thank you for the audience, the platform, and that chance to get, like I say, some people to read about it, blog about it. And the title, one thing I noticed about, there's several titles released, several novels released with the same title, Family Affairs. So when I release the second novel, it's going to be with a different title. I don't want to release that now until I get a chance to get it copyrighted and whatnot and have it released by the publisher. But Family Affairs Saga by Lord Walker. There's also Family Affair with different titles. You know, it's not as extensive, it's not as entertaining, in my opinion, about the saga that I'm writing about. They may be writing from other experiences, but the Family Affairs Saga novel by Lord Walker at the familyaffairsaga.com website to give you all the information about my particular book.
Great. So I'm pretty sure I know that the Native American communities are definitely excited about the fact that you decided to write from their historical perspective. So, you know, that's got to be greatly appreciated because you have opened up an outlet for one of their stories, or actually their history, to be told via your fictional book. So that's amazing. Is the book available in ebook version?
Yes, it is. Amazon.com. And one other thing to clear up, I'm not writing about the history of any particular Native American tribe, whatnot. It's just my own creative ingenuity to make it somewhat unique to fit the characters, fit the storyline from a fictional standpoint.
Yeah.
For entertainment purposes only. And it's very entertaining. So like I say, you can pick it up at Amazon.com, an ebook, hard copy, soft copy, paperback. Feel free.
Yeah.
Amazon.com.
Yeah, but you said that you did mention the fact that the main character does have a alcohol problem. So that does, even though it's a fictional book, it just kind of contributes to some of the unfortunate things that take place within their community. So, or with this character, which could be identified.
Because that happens with pretty much every community, every neighborhood, every socioeconomic class, status, whatever background you have. Alcoholism is a major factor in a lot of homes and families, just like any other controlled substance, whether it be legal, which is legalized in marijuana pot. It used to be legalized years ago until they figured it's a way to criminalize the act rather than the drug itself. So, I mean, there's a lot of historical background. Like I said, I got a lot of this information just through so much of 2 years of research and information that really opened my eyes up to really what goes into creating an interesting page-turning story.
I just bet. So, did you want to give the audience your website?
Yeah, familyaffairsaga.com by Lord Walker's and I will give you all the details out of order. You can also contact the author there and leave a message where I can also, retrieve your information and respond to whatever it is that you might be interested in, follow the book or whatnot. feel free to peruse that site, and I look forward to hearing back from you. And I appreciate you blogging about the novel and telling your friends about it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. I appreciate this time, and unfortunately, I have to cut it short.
All right. Well, I just want to thank you for doing this phone call with me via telephone, and we look forward to hearing more about your success with the book, and best of luck to you.
I appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you, talking to you sometime soon about it more in detail.
All right. Have a good one.
All right.
Okay. All right. Well, all right, people. Uh-oh. I hope you enjoyed that brief interview with our phone call with author Jay Walker. Let's talk about the show, the Cooks and Books Show with your host, Adra Young. As everyone knows that, or who's been listening since April, that I took it upon myself to create a show that not only introduces the audience to authors, self-published authors, traditionally published authors, and cooks, culinary artists, and pastry artists within the southeast region of Michigan. I'd like to know what you think. Since the show has been going on since April, do you think it's something that's going to last? Do you think the show has a great concept? Do you like the... are you enjoying the people that I interview every week? What are you thinking about when you think about the Cooks and Books Show on Adra Young? Is it something different? Was it needed? Is it needed? I would like to know what you think. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, but please stay tuned to www.urbannation.com with your host, Adra Young. We'll be right back, so stay right here.
5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Yeah!
This is combo.
It's a female, right?
It's a male. This is a female.
But the other ones are in there.
Yeah.
Female.
Oh. See, I gotta keep them separate because they like to kiss. Can you tell what it is like? Let's take a guess. Now look, you gotta pick one at a time, alright? Pick one. Alright, try it. Look at Hercules.
How it feel to do your first Enjoy Detroit event?
Feel good. Like doing something
Hey, young world, you're now rocking with Professor Parabis. Tune in every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on www.urbannationradio.com. It's going down, Cram Session Radio. Alright, let's go. Hey, young world, this is Cram Session Radio. Back through your smartphone, satellite, stereo, bow tie swag, plus sophisticated through Urban Nation Radio. We worldwide syndicated and we going right like nothing's left. It's all about hip-hop, economics, and academic success like magnifiers with the zoom in. There's a jewel every week to motivate you. All you gotta do is tune in. Let's put our brains together, aims together, and see what kind of goals we can attain together. And thanks for the listening. And I proudly approve this message, Professor Parabis. Let's get it in. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cram Session. Yeah, it's the Cram Session. It's the Cram Session. Hey, it's the Cram Session.
Five, six, 7, 8.
Twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
Yeah!
This is
Look at Hercules. How it feel to do your first Enjoy Detroit event?
Feel good. Like doing something different.
And the phone one too? Okay. All right, we are back with the Cooks and Books Show with your host, Adra Young. We have a caller. Hello?
Hello.
Hi. It's
Hi.
Adra Young with the Cooks and Books Show. How are you this great Friday Eve?
Very good.
Okay. How can I help you? Did you have a question?
I just want to say I love your show.
Oh, thank you so much. You don't know how much that you just brighten my day, because you never know what a host is going through. You only see the host live, but you never know what they're going through to make sure you get a great show. So I appreciate it. So continue to tune in every Thursday at 5 p.m., okay?
Okay.
Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. That was cool. All right. Okay. Does Dave need a headset or no? Okay.
Okay. Is that another show going on next door?
We just wait. You just look right. Okay.
Oh, here we
hey, guess what, everybody? I just briefly I asked the audience and the world and Detroit and all the urban cities, what was your favorite show? You can give me a call back and tell me. Since the show's been going on since April 2014, who's been your best cook, culinary artist, pastry artist, and who's been your best author? Without further ado, I have Detroit's pizza man in the house. Let me tell you about this man. Community activist in the hood, directly in Detroit's Eastern Market region, giving back and making some of the best pizza you could ever put your mouth on. Let me tell you, I went into Sapino's Pizza, I want to say early June, and it was Saturday. And when I say the line was outside, I'm like, wow. So I couldn't get a hold of him, but I was determined to get you on the show and talk to you, Dave. So you've got great workers working for you. The young man said, call him back on a Tuesday, and I'm so glad that I did. But without further ado, everybody, give it up for Dave Sapini.
Oh, well, Sapino's the name of the shop. My name is Mancini.
Lord. Dave Mancini, owner of Sapino's Pizza. Yay!
Thank you.
All right, so pizza apparently is your passion, so let's talk about it. And I heard that you have actually come up with your own dough, specialized dough.
Yeah, it was kind of a long personal passion project. Sapino's actually the name of my father's hometown in Italy. He was born there. And tiny little place, population of 5,000, tiny little farming village, kind of near Rome, and but nothing like Rome at all. Very like low-key place. And my family all out there, they all have these pizza ovens in their backyard, like everybody does out there.
Okay.
Like, they just build them. And,
so was that like brick oven or just outside?
It's like wood burning, like brick oven. Yeah,
the real
like
deal.
The real deal stuff. Yeah, everybody just had that. Like people around here have a barbecue. People out there had wood burning pizza ovens. That just happened. So these, my folks were making really great pizza, and this was about 15 years ago now, just before the new millennium here, and it really hit me just how good it was, and how they're still just using stuff like flour, water, yeast, and salt, but they're doing something different to it to make it really good. And that's kind of what started the idea in my head, like, how can I make this, something that's good? And at first it was just, kind of a fun thing, a hobby, I'd make for my family and friends, and then I really got obsessed with it after a while and really was trying to get better and better. And then after some time, it was like, got to the point where people were like, man, you got to start doing this for real, So I used to mix, 4 or 5 batches a week, every week, and I did that for 7 years before I really got my recipe down. So it's inspired by my family recipe, but my family's a little more like a Buddy-style thick crust kind of thing, and I always liked the thin crust. Yeah. So, and
me being greedy, I'm just thinking if it's thin, Dave, I can eat more, but that's just the greedy lady in me.
There's 2 ways to look at it. Yeah, for sure. So, Yeah, it was. It was a long project, just trying to figure it out. But it's, I think it's working out now.
It's working, baby. Let me tell you why. You're in all kinds of culinary reviews. You're in Detroit Hour magazine. When I pulled you up, I was like, oh my goodness, this man is so humble. And everybody is talking about your pizza. Even the atmosphere and the environment of your restaurant, small.
It's a humble place. I hope. It's not a fancy place. We still have people calling and asking if they can make reservations, and we're just like,
just come on in and get some good pizza.
Yeah, just come. Exactly right.
And that's what they're doing, darling. Because the lines on the weekends, people. Let me just make a suggestion to you. If you're going on the weekend, you might want to get there a little early. Because there's going to be a line.
Yes,
but you're going to it's going to definitely be worth the wait. It's going to be definitely worth the wait. I
appreciate that.
So, how long have you been open in Easton Market?
Well, just a couple weeks now. It's going to be our 6-year anniversary.
Okay.
August 12th of 2008, we opened up. That was our first day open. So, it's been over 5 years now. It's hard to believe, right? Yeah, it's been great. Thank you. It's, more successful than I ever thought. You do these, you get into these things and you start reading about businesses and how, likelihood of failure and everything else, and it's just like.
But you went for it.
Stop and and you just got to stop and kind of wake yourself up. Like, this actually worked out. It's going well. It's going really well.
But the
people
product
have been amazing and supportive. And
the product. Wow. And what kind of pizza do we have here today?
So this is actually a seasonal thing. There's really good Swiss chard coming out of the gardens. This is from Keep Growing Detroit, which is a network of farmers in Detroit that are growing in their lots. And there's just great stuff coming from these folks. Like, we're getting Swiss chard right now. We're about to get real tomatoes, which I can't wait for. We're getting really good
real
tomatoes from these guys it's just, the stuff that's grown locally. You hear this thing about local, and it's so true in many ways. But with tomatoes, there's just a gigantic difference. Once it starts coming out of the garden, now they're sweeter.
Right, and when the sun dries on a pizza.
Oh, it's also delicious.
My goodness! So you've been open for 5 years now. Tell the audience about your expansion. And by the way, congratulations on that, because I understand that you're going to be opening. Eventually, you will be open to 10 o'clock. Is that correct?
That's what we're talking about doing. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to have a bar at the place. So beer and wine. We're going to be doing. I'm hoping to feature Michigan beer, Italian wine. We're going to have some, liquor, but it's going to be a restaurant that serves booze, not so much a bar. We're going to be closing at 10 o'clock, like you just said. So I'm not trying to turn it into a bar. I still want it to be kind of a restaurant vibe. But Supino is real rough and ready. It's kind of, you come and you order and we bring your stuff out to you. Where the new place is going to be a little more grown up. We're going to have wait staff and a host stand and a slightly expanded menu. I'm going to do some other Italian stuff.
I heard something about chicken, and I thought I read something about beef.
We're going to be doing it's going to be a pretty tight menu, but a few other offerings. Yeah, we're going to be doing like chicken Parmigiano, basically just a classic Italian standard. We use the pizza crust for the breadcrumbs on it, so it makes it really gives it a little extra unique flavor. But and then a beef brizzato, which is essentially just we're going to be using grass-fed beef. We're going to be using properly pasture-raised chickens, that kind of thing. But the beef is just, stewed in red wine, tomatoes, overnight, real slow and low until it's falling apart. We serve that over top of polenta. So I've been messing with a lot of these recipes. It's a lot of fun for me because, as you said, I've got really good help there now. It's like my guys are,
a team.
People I've got trained for me of just, they're letting me do other things now. These
they're stepping up to the plate.
They really did.
They really are.
And they're getting better and better, and it's to the point now where I can start kind of doing some of this stuff that's a little more, a little different, so I can kind of, do something new with the new place. Really do. I got great accolades, man. These guys are just all of them across the board. They're great. So it's been fun. It's given me a chance to expand the menu a little bit, and I'm hoping that's going to happen October.
Okay.
We'll see how that. I'm not making any promises.
That's
I've been telling
okay.
people for.
But we're gonna put it out there. It's gonna be a major expansion going on with Supino's Pizza in October. So let's throw it in the universe and claim it.
There you go.
Okay. So 5 years in Easton Market, about to expand. Tell me about some of the obstacles and being a new business person on the block that you may have endured, and why it's important not to let these things keep you from pursuing your passion.
Sure. And I mean, honestly, the biggest obstacle is just it's figuring things out and just your own. There's a lot of self-doubt. You hear all these things about how hard it is to open a business, and it is. I think you have to tell yourself, if you're going to go for something, you just got to do what it takes. The first year I was open, I probably worked 15, 16-hour days on the regular. That was pretty typical. And you just got to get done what needs to get done. And then you start getting better at it. You learn what you can farm out to other people. You start training some people to help you out.
Mm-hmm.
They get better at it. But my first year open, I made every single pizza. Nobody else made a pizza. Now my guys, I'm here right now. These guys are making pizza for me right now while I'm here. So that didn't happen the first year. I didn't leave the shop.
Yeah, because
ever.
it was like your baby. Like, if
I
I'm
did
not here,
we hadn't gotten to that point yet. I didn't trust it. And I think I was almost too much of that. But I probably could have let it go quicker than I did. In fact, what happened to me was I got sick. The first time I let anybody else make a pizza to serve to a customer, they had made a few for themselves kind of thing. And we had gotten some good press in the free press, and so we had this just crazy slammed rush for like a week. And I just got physically exhausted. I had to go. I went down to the basement of the pizzeria. I got a cot down there because I used to sleep there. I don't so much anymore, but that's the kind of thing it takes.
Yeah, but that's a testimony to other people to know what you endured.
I mean, there's days where I would go downstairs, go to sleep. I'd have to wake up in the middle of the night and cut dough by myself because I didn't have it organized yet. But you just got to do what you got to do. And I mean, it's borne so much fruit now. It's like I'm having fun. It's my guys are great. We're able to expand. We're able to try something new. And but it was, those first 2 years, especially the first 2 years, were really, really, really tough. Just a lot of work. And it's it's the kind of thing where if something needs to get done, you just got to do it. And it was. I basically told myself like you keep working until what gets done needs to get done. And then along the way, people start stepping up, and you start you find some of the right folks that fit certain areas in the shop and in your business. But it's just a ton of work. It is. It's a ton of work, and it has paid off. But it took a while.
Exactly.
It's a lot of hard work.
Okay. So we're going to take a commercial break, but we're going to be back with Dave Mancini of Sapino's Pizza in the Eastern Market region. You are live with Adra Young on the Cooks and Books Show. That's www.Urban Nation Radio. Stay here. Don't go anywhere.
Are you under the care of a physician, unable to leave your home without assistance? Do you have a need for a skilled licensed professional? Look no further than Onyx Home Health Care. Onyx provides registered nurses, occupational therapists, diabetic management, and education programs, medical equipment and supplies, and much more. Visit OnyxHomeHealthCare.com and call 313-864-5060. At Onyx, we'll treat your loved ones like the precious gems.
The Michigan Barber School is now accepting applications for the summer class.
Michigan Barber School would be the place for you to go. It helped change my life.
I got my skills at the Michigan Barber School.
Registration deadline is June 21st.
Control your own destiny and go to the Michigan Barber School.
Financial aid is available for those who qualify.
Call the Michigan Barber School where your opportunities are unlimited.
Call 313-894-2300.
Hey, young world, you're now rocking with Professor Parabis. Tune in every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on www.urbannationradio.com. It's going down, Cram Session Radio. Alright, let's go. Hey, young world, this is Cram Session Radio. Back through your smartphone, satellite, stereo, bow tie swag, plus sophisticated through Urban Nation Radio. We worldwide syndicated and we going right like nothing's left. It's all about hip-hop, economics, and academic success like magnifiers with the zoom in. There's a jewel every week to motivate you. All you gotta do is tune in. Let's put our brains together, aims together, and see what kind of goals we can attain together. And thanks for the listening. And I proudly approve this message. Professor Parabis, let's get it in. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cram Session. Yeah, it's the Cram Session. It's the Cram Session. Hey, it's the Cram Session.
Who's taking your money? Does debt seem to be weighing you down? Bill collectors calling every day? Restless nights?
Let us help. Let us get your life back on track. Give us a call at 1-888 1-888-826-5119. That's 1-888-826-5119.
This advertisement is brought to you by Beginning of Independence Group, LLC. Give us a call.
Are you under the care of a physician, unable to leave your home without assistance? Do you have a need for a skilled licensed professional? Look no further than Onyx Home Health Care. Onyx provides registered nurses, occupational therapists, diabetic management and education programs, medical equipment and supplies, and much more. Visit OnyxHomeHealthCare.com and call 313-864-5060. At Onyx, we'll treat your loved ones like the precious gems they are.
The Michigan Barber School is now accepting applications for the summer class.
Michigan Barber School would be the place for you to go. It helped change my life.
I got my skills at the Michigan Barber School.
Registration deadline is June 21st.
Control your own destiny and go to the Michigan Barber School.
Financial aid is available for those who qualify.
Call the Michigan Barber School where your opportunities are unlimited.
Call 313-894-2300.
Who's taking your money? Does debt seem to be weighing you down? Bill collectors calling every day? Restless nights?
Let us help. Let us get your life back on track. Give us a call at 1-888-826-5119. That's 1-888-826-5119.
This advertisement is brought to you by Beginning of Independence Group, LLC.
All right, and we are back with the Cooks and Books Show with your host, Adra Young, and I've got owner Dave Mancini of Sapina's Pizza. We know that if you don't have a great crust to go with a pizza, it's a waste of time. So you say you have mastered the concept of a great crust. Now, if you're like me, I like thin pizza not because, but because I'm greedy and I know that I can eat more pizza. If it's too thick, bread is very filling, so you can't eat as much. But tell us the concept of creating a perfect crust for a pizza pie.
Well, as you said, I mean, to me, a pizza, the pizza's never going to be better than the crust. If you don't have great crust, you can put
really
whatever you want on top of it. It's not going to taste that good. So, it is. It's a very detailed process. You
is it an overnight thing, Dave?
These days, not as much. I use a starter, which means you mix a little bit of water and flour, and that kind of develops more flavor. It kind of speeds up that flavor development process. So I mix that ahead, and then I mix that into a larger batch. But it's it's very tightly controlled thing. Like I got to measure the temperature of the water. These days I can kind of do it with my hands more than when I first opened up. I had to take a thermometer and measure the water, temperature of the air, temperature of the flour. You got to figure out all these little details right to a very specific T. We measure out on a scale that goes down to the gram. Adding salt, a certain amount of olive oil, a certain amount of other things.
Right, secret,
all natural stuff. But yeah, it's a very very specific thing, and it's tricky. And there are days when when the weather starts changing that all of a sudden I'll mix one batch and I'll mix another one half an hour later, and it's like there's some shift in the weather where it just something happened and it's too there's too much water or not enough water, and
I'll
have to
because
throw that one away because you can just I can tell by looking at it.
Okay,
I've done it enough. I mix 5 or 6 batches a day for 5 years now, almost 6 years now, and it's it's one of those things you just get more and more used to.
The more you do it, it
it
becomes like the back of your hand.
It kind of does,
okay.
yeah. But it's a very specific process. So,
what is your signature pie? Like, what do they come to get? The cheese, the vegan? Because you have a great menu.
Thank you. No, we try to have a good variety. There's some folks that swear by the cheese. They like a plain cheese, and I had a customer, Mr. Spradlin. Said that you can't hide behind the cheese. If you have cheese and it's good, then you're getting a good pizza. That was his thing. You can't hide behind the cheese. So, thought that was kind of cool. I like that perspective. But, you know, that we have some other interesting things. Like, you know, we have the Swiss chard here today, and the Swiss chard is so
and
great.
I can't,
so fresh coming out of the
can't wait to
right
get
now.
into this, baby, after the show, people.
And I can give kind of a half a plug for a friend of mine. If you've ever been to City Wing Things, or it's called City Wings. We have a pizza called the City Wing Thing. Grant he's a wing shop, but he also puts pulled turkey in his greens. And I got him to give me his pulled turkey recipe. So we put the pulled turkey on top of a pie. And for me, like, you hear about barbecue chicken pizza, that never really did it for me. But when I tried his turkey, I'm like, man, this would go so good on a pizza. And it's one of our most popular ones now. We call it the City Wing Thing. We named it after his place because it's his recipe for the turkey. But it's so good on a pie. It's almost
just
like
bet it is. And I would have never thought. I mean, but we're putting everything else on a pizza. We're putting shrimp on a pizza, chicken on a pizza.
Well, that's the thing. It came from this conversation with Grant. I was talking to him, and he's like, man, you could eat this with anything. And I'm like, yeah, but it'd go good on a pizza. You know, like I didn't even. It was just kind of a spontaneous thing, and we actually did a cooking show together, the two of us, and that's what we were trying to do. This like joint recipe, but it wasn't pizza. It was like we were doing like a pasta thing. But I was like, man, this stuff would go so great on pizza, and thank God we did that because it's one of my favorite, most popular ones. It actually was the one that was featured on the Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dive show it was on, so that they did on us. So that was really cool. And now people ask us what's City Wing Thing, and we can tell them, hey, there's this restaurant across town.
Okay, so when I come in, Dave, I need the City Wing Thing pizza.
That's a good one.
Okay.
That's a real good one.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Any others? I know cheese, the City Wing Thing.
Well, the Supino is the namesake of the place. We have the Supino, which is it's kind of inspired by what I think of as Supino, my father's hometown. It's this beautiful place. It's very robust. It's a vegetarian pie, but it's really strong flavors. It's got ricotta cheese. It's got Kalamata olives, chili oil, roasted garlic. Really like bold, strong flavors. It's one of the bolder vegetarian pies you'll ever have. It's really a lot of different strong flavors, and that's kind of how I think of my pop's hometown. It really is. It's a strong, tough Southern Italian place. They're hardworking people, and so that's the namesake pie. A lot of folks like that. One of the more unusual ones is the Bismarck. We crack a raw egg on top of the pizza, throw it in the oven so it cooks like a sunny side up egg. And if you like a little runny yolk, that's probably my favorite one actually.
Okay.
But it's not for everybody. Not everyone wants
you said runny, yeah. It could definitely might
possibly
scare some individuals out.
Yeah. Some folks look at it a little sideways, but I think
you never know. You gotta be willing to experiment. You never know what's good because.
Well, I got a young kid that works for me. The first time he saw that, he thought I was crazy when he saw the pizza look like that, and now he loves it. And he said that to me. He's like, I never thought that would be good, but that is so good. And he puts egg on his pizza now. And he goes,
wow.
And he's a young kid. He's 18, or actually he was 16 when he started working for me. So.
Tell us about your times and when can we call in and order a pizza at lunchtime?
You can. So we do takeout. We don't deliver. We do 11 a.m. until 8:30 p.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 11 a.m. till 10 p.m. Friday and Saturday. Like I said, we're planning on doing until 10 p.m. every night of the week, but we're still going to be closed Sunday and Monday. I'm one of those people. I always knew I wanted to. I work long hours, but I still want to have quality of life. I want my guys to have quality of life.
And you want a life.
Days off. It's always how I felt. Someday I may add in a day, but it would be only if we can figure it out where everyone can kind of get those 2 days off. I just think it's important for everybody, but including myself, me most of all.
You got to get some rest so you can come back and give that good product.
For sure.
I'm pretty sure that the workers appreciate it, and you need that rest too. You need that wind downtown.
We all do.
But Dave, it looks like we have a caller. Somebody wants to talk to you.
Okay.
Should I give him the headset?
Okay.
All right. Mine's are... right here. Let me get the headphones. Okay. All right, you're live with the Cooks and Books Show with your host, Adra Young, and owner of Supino's Pizza, Mr. Dave Mancini. Did you have a question for our guest today?
Yes, I do have a question. My goddaughter just graduated from high school. She's 18 years old, and she's going to pursue culinary arts. And eventually have her own restaurant one day as well. What's the best advice that you would give to a young person who wants to pursue owning their own business and as a culinary artist?
It's a really good question. So for me, I had kind of a roundabout way. I actually was studying something else, and then I went and took a job in a restaurant. And that's really, you're going to have to pay your dues. It's a competitive business. There's a lot of folks that love to cook. Cooking in a restaurant, owning a restaurant is another level of thing. And I think it's really just putting time in, being humble, learning what you can for a long time. Like I said, I was mixing dough every day for 7 years. My friends would be going out at night and I'd be staying home mixing dough. Like, you just got to pay your dues sometimes. And it's really about, experiencing different things, working for other people. It can be a tough business. There's a lot of other folks in the restaurant industry that can be really tough on their workers. But if you learn from the right folks and you stick to it and you try to experience a bunch of different things, you can be really successful. And I think it just takes the right attitude of humility. Like, just you don't know. I worked in restaurants before, and there's a lot of folks coming out of culinary school that think they know everything already, and you're really just getting started. You got to listen to folks. You got to pay attention to what's going on, and just pay your dues. For a long time, you might be making not that much money, and just trying to learn what you can about the industry, and just get jobs with the right people. And that's, if a place is not fitting what your vision is, then go somewhere else. But it really does take a long time. I think it's you got to put your time in. So, a lot of hard work.
Thank you so much. That's great advice. I appreciate that.
Okay, for sure.
All right. Thank you for calling. Okay. So I think we were talking about your time. You said you would eventually, we're going to claim in October that when you do your expansion, that that your restaurant will be available and open to 10. Are you closed on Sundays and Mondays?
We are closed on Sundays and Mondays.
Okay.
Yeah, and we've always done that. So, but yeah, the idea is hopefully to open until 10 o'clock.
Okay, and repeat your times again, Tuesday through Saturday.
Yeah, so it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're open from 11 a.m. until 8:30 p.m. And then Friday and Saturday until 10 p.m. 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. So, and then close Sunday and Monday right now. So,
what is the experience that you want people to remember when they come into Sapino's Pizza?
Well, I mean, it's mostly about the pizza, and it's kind of I hope it's a fun place for a lot of folks. I do, the guys that work for me are the guys and ladies that work for me, I should say. They're all hardworking folks, but it's a casual place. It's it's I guess some people have called it a hole in the wall, which I don't have any problem with. I mean, it kind of is.
Now,
that. It's not a real fancy
Let me
place,
tell you, some of the holes in the walls have the best food, and I will drive miles just to go get that food because it's good.
Yeah, and that's this. The original concept with Sapino was to be real casual. It really is all about the pizza, but it's kind of fun. We've got community tables, so you might end up sitting next to somebody that you don't know necessarily. And, some folks really like that. I've heard some people don't always like that either, but there are smaller tables, too. You don't need to do it that way. But
I like the diverse. What I liked when I first went in there, Dave, was the diverse cultures. You will see anybody. You will see somebody taking a lunch break in a business suit. You'll see a kid with jeans and sandals on, but everybody having a common core, and that's just they're all enjoying your pizza.
And I love to see that. That's what and that was really the goal. We haven't changed the prices since day one. As busy as we've gotten, we haven't raised anything because I want, some teenage kid to be able to come in and get a slice of pizza and a pop for less than $5. I want that crowd. I don't want it to be this stuffy thing where, I like that folks from every age, every culture, anywhere in the metro area, in downtown, wherever you're at, like I want it to be, anyone can come in and just grab some of this stuff. That's kind of the idea. And it is, what's something else at the community tables. I like that they're all sitting next to each other, elbow to elbow, and that's kind of what the thing's about. It's just getting in there and eating pizza. So,
what is your vision, or what do you? Let me say this: how do you see with Detroit on the rise, with so many positive things taking place? What do you see the Eastern market resembling or looking like within the next 5 years?
Well, it's the market is one of those places. I feel like it's almost a thing unto itself,
like a world, like another town within itself.
Yeah, I mean it's real, and it's it's a great place. I've been going there since I was a little kid, and I actually have mentioned this to the guys that run the market that I wanted to see more, almost like more. It already is a public gathering place, but I would like to see more. I don't know, places where they could put like bistro tables out, and like anybody who's coming through the market could sit down and enjoy that. And it's hard because it's, I know it's already hard to park there, and it gets so crazy on Saturdays. But it'd just be nice to see more of my vision right in front of my spot. There's that large parking lot, and I always thought how cool that would be if it was almost like a Campus Martius type place where like, put a fountain in the middle of it, put some tables up where just folks can come and hang out and make it a public space, and be near some of the businesses that are nearby, but enjoy that as a space, and folks could, kids could be playing, and whoever's showing up for it. That's what I hope to see. I don't know how realistic that is. I think they're.
That's
it's hard
okay because it's your vision.
They need the parking, but I get that. But it'd just be nice to see, just make it more of a space that anyone just come and hang out, and it just be, in the summer. I envision this very like, just a common ground of like all the folks that go to the market being able to like hang out and like sit down and enjoy whatever they're things they're buying while they're down there, and just that kind of a thing. I don't know. That's what I hope, I guess. So.
Do you provide internships for culinary arts students or just people in general who would maybe like to just learn the art of pizza making?
Internships, not exactly.
Okay.
We're probably going to be hiring real soon. So
did you hear that?
An internship exactly.
Okay.
I mean, we're paying people to work there. So
okay.
You don't need to be an unpaid intern. Come on in, and if I can't say that. Like right now, I'm not actually hiring, but I will be very soon, especially when I get the next door space coming. So we're definitely looking for hardworking folks, and I don't even need a culinary background. To be honest with you, I actually tend to hire people that are not from a culinary background. I tend to. That's not always true, but I'd rather train them from the bottom up, because there's different things that I believe in. I had guys come to me from places, they worked at a pizzeria in New York, and they say, one guy told me, he's like, I'm going to reinvent the way you make pizza. I'm like, I don't want you to reinvent the way I make pizza.
I don't think so. Right.
I want you to, do what we're doing. I think we're doing okay. We know what we want to do here. But if you're, willing to work hard, that's what I'm looking for. Somebody that's hardworking and somebody that wants to learn some stuff, So and it's a good crew. I mean, the folks that work for me are all pretty hardworking, and they all team players, I think, a little bit, too. So,
well, teamwork does definitely make a dream work. Once you have the right people on your team, it's like you feel like I can do it,
Yeah.
And I can be at ease.
I lean on my guys. I mean, like I said, that first year I was not getting a whole lot of sleep, and I couldn't have done that forever. So I feel really lucky to have the folks that I have working for me. They're great. They're really great. So.
That's awesome. Well, Dave, all good things come to an end, and our interview is about to come to a close. So real quick, if you want to give our listening audience your number and website so they can get some of this fantastic pizza.
Okay, I appreciate that. It's the number is 313-567-7879. Our website is sapinopizza.com or sapinopizzeria.com. Either one will take you to the same spot, and you can check the menu out there. And just call and order some good pizza.
Well, I just want to say you've been a great host. It's been a pleasure having you on. And can I get you to come back on when you do your expansion?
Yeah, for
maybe
sure,
sometime so we can talk about how that's going.
I got a feeling I'll be pretty busy for a while, but when things settle in a little bit, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure, this was fun.
All right. Well, thank you for being on the Cooks and Books show. Everybody, the world, my live audience, all the inner cities, rural cities, Detroit, thank you for listening to another segment of the Cooks and Books show with your host, Adra Young. I want everybody to relax and have a safe, fun, and joyful weekend. Take care. Bye now.
Are you under the care of a physician, unable to leave your home without assistance? Do you have a need for a skilled licensed professional? Look no further than Onyx Home Health Care. Onyx provides registered nurses, occupational therapists, diabetic management and education programs, medical equipment and supplies, and much more. Visit OnyxHomeHealthCare.com and call 313-864-5060. At Onyx, we'll treat your loved ones like the precious gems they are.
5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
Yeah!
This is cockroach.
It's a female, right?
This a male. This a female.
The other one already in there.
Yeah.
Female.
Oh. See, I gotta keep them separate because they like to kiss.
Can you tell what it is like? Let's take a guess. Now look, you gotta pick one at a time, alright? Pick one. Alright, try it.
Look at Hercules. How I feel to do your first Enjoy Detroit event?
Feel good. Like doing something with Mancini.